Here we have a pre-owned 2017 Subaru Legacy. Now this Legacy comes in the limited trim level. Ice silver is the paint, and then we do have black leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that's mated to Subaru's Lineartronic CVT, and then we do have the symmetric all-wheel drive as well. To the front end here with the eyesight package, we get these optional high-intensity discharge headlamps. We have the LED daytime running lights, and then we have the halogen fog lights there. But a nice front facial look on this Legacy here. You know, it looks very nice because we do have the HIDs and the LED daytime running lights there. These are going to be 18-inch alloy wheels. We get passive keyless entry on the front. And then to the door panel here, we have our memory seat functions, one-touch up and down windows on the front doors, regular power windows on the back, power door lock controls, rear window lockout, and then we do have the power mirror controls here. Bottle holder. Love the wood grain look there. And then a Harman Kardon sound system. Trunk release, we have the steering responsive fog lights we can turn off, and the traction control, blind spot monitors, lane keeping system, and then we have the forward collision alert. We can cut all that off, which is nice. There's the hood release, pedals. We get a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel, and then our trip meter, we can toggle that there. But here's the power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar support. Now, I do want to give a huge thanks to Nissan of Cool Springs here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that third link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. Now, I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, so let's go ahead and check out this leg room. So good space for a sedan here. Seat back pockets on both sides. I have pretty good headroom as well. You get two-stage heated outboard seats, rear AC vents, and there's a look at the front from back here. This middle seat folds down, bottle holders there. And then we have our grab handle. You can hang a shirt there if you need to. Now your child locks, unlock, lock there. And then as we come around to the back end, there's a look at that. Now, I don't know if it's because the car is running, but the trunk won't open. So we'll just pop it from right here. All right, there it goes. Well, there's a button for that there. And I mean, pretty good space, I think, for a sedan. And then you can lift this tab up here if I can get it. And there's your spare tire. Now, either side, you can pull these latches, and that'll release the second row seat so you can fold those down. So I hit the right side, and we'll get to that in a second. Well, fuel cap is here. Cars stay regular just fine. And again, after you pull that latch, pull down here, and then that'll fold. It should fold flat. Looks like the seat belt is catching it in the middle. But the seat will fold flat. You just have to, it might be buckled in or something. But top tethers are all on the back behind the seats themselves. Yeah, so this is probably just, you get that out the way and it'll fold flat. And then you have the lower anchors behind these covers right in there. And they're relatively far back, but front passenger seat, power seat, back seat, bottom. Lockable glove compartment here. We have the owner's manual still in this one. And I was looking at the service history of this. Pretty good in terms of the oil changes being kept up and all of that. So that's probably why those books are still in there. Now, as we come back around to the front end, just a quick look in the engine bay. There's that 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. Now before we hop in the driver's seat, just a quick look at the blinkers. Leather wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn. Up here we have the hazards. And then down below we have the infotainment system. So we have a navigation system, AM, FM radio, Bluetooth. So we'll start with the radio first. You can go through your sources here. And you can see we have XM as well. We also have a CD drive that's up there, and then a few apps that you can hook up as well if you want to do that. There's also a just a typical USB-A and then an aux input too. Navigation system is here. That's what this SD card reader is for. That's what holds the system. Well, that's what the maps come from, excuse me. So in your info here is pretty neat. You have your vehicle monitor. You can see that info there, your eco monitor here. And then your maintenance, you can keep track of all that, which is pretty cool. Kind of shows you those intervals and all of that. And then in terms of your general settings, you can go in here and change your language if you want to do that. Backup cameras here. And then you can toggle the rear automatic braking and the parking sensors on either side there. But I mean, it's pretty simple setup, but there's a lot you can do in here. So I really like how this radio is put together. We get 3-stage heated seats, and then our temperature, we can toggle that there. And then this button here can help you go through in terms of just adjusting the time there if you want to do that. But we can adjust fan direction, fan speed, cut the whole system off, the auto mode, and then I mean, it's pretty simple setup. The AC, really like that it's still blowing cold 10 years down the road. You can store all this away, and you have a 12-volt aux input, and you have 2 USB-A's in there. Now for the shifter, just hit the brake, pull on this button, reverse neutral drive. Your manual mode is there, and then you can hit the paddles behind the steering wheel. You get those simulated shifts. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage the brake, press down to disengage. Then you have your downhill brake control there. Bottle holders. Center console cubby space with a 12-volt. And then up here, sunglasses holder. And then we have our SOS. We can tilt or slide the sunroof. So I'm going to show you a one-touch slide here. So it goes pretty far back. Hit it a second time, it'll go behind the cover. And you can close that one touch. Look at the back seat from up here. Vanity mirror. We do have a universal garage door transmitter in the rear view mirror. And then left side stock blinkers, high beams, fog lights. And then on the right side stock, we have our intermittent wiper. So one time off, intermittent low, high. We can adjust that intermittent frequency here and then just pull up for the fluid. Left side of the steering wheel itself, volume up, down, trackless radio station presets here, mute, unmute. And then we can go through our audio sources, voice recognition, Bluetooth. These buttons go through the middle part of the gauge cluster, and we can come in here and pull up this menu by holding this button down, and this will pull up the screen settings so we can change that. So I can actually change the language within here, units of measurement right there. And then a few other things as well. eyesight settings, so on and so forth. So I mean, it's a pretty neat setup. It's very minimal, but there's a lot you can do when you actually go into the system. But most of what you need is always right here, so you can just hit these two buttons to go through that. Now, right side, adaptive cruise, we can turn that on or off. The lane keeping system is there, and then we can toggle the gap adjust for the adaptive cruise either way there, and then set your speed here. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2017 Subaru Legacy Limited out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Legacy here, I like how comfortable the front seat is. It's just kind of a fun fact, but there's a lot of space up here to have so much space in the back seat. And for a four-door car, that's saying a lot. But very spacious up here, not a lot going on in terms of the shifter area. It's very tightly fitted in here in terms of just making sure everything is not taking up too much space just to look good. And I like that about this car. Now we have paddle shifters, and they give you kind of the simulated shift, so it almost just revs the CVT to a certain point there, which is nice. And it's nice to be able to do that on the fly. And then you can just hold down the plus paddle, and then you go back to the regular drive mode. And of course you can toggle the manual mode by just hitting the shifter over to the left while in drive, and then you kind of get that more in-depth experience, if you will. Now we're gonna give it a slight pull getting on the interstate here. Here we go. So I mean, I like the sound. It got up to speed pretty nicely without having to thrash it. I probably could have gotten it to go faster with the paddle shifters, but wasn't really necessary. But I want to give one more huge thanks to Nissan of Cool Springs here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that third link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. But the ride was really good coming down the interstate, even on this stretcher, not the stretcher, but this rougher stretch of pavement. So that was impressive. I was getting a little bit of wind noise here, so I'm assuming one of these seals might need to be put where it's supposed to be or replaced, but you just hear a little bit of wind noise coming through, like there's a window that's barely cracked. But again, I'm sure that's a fixable thing because I didn't hear it from the other three windows. Now, in terms of what you get for the money, this car is around that $17,000 mark, and I think it's to have less than 75,000 miles on it. It's not a bad deal when you think about just how much vehicles have gone up, how much they're staying up right now due to inflation, due to just the higher cost of everything in general. And I like that this is just a simple car. It's relatively fun to drive, easy to drive, fuel efficient, and you know, you get all-wheel drive as well, which people always kind of sleep on when it comes to the Subarus. And another thing I feel like people don't consider with these cars is they're very easy to drive. This CVT is actually one of the more, I think, enjoyable CVTs on the market. It doesn't feel strained. It doesn't feel just bad. You have these almost shift points with this CVT that feel good. You can kind of give it a shiftable mode as well with the paddle shifters, which makes it more fun. But especially if you're going on light off-roading, things of that nature, it's good to have that more manual feel with the paddles as opposed to just having a traditional CVT that doesn't really have that same get up and go to it. But I think when you consider just what's on the market now, just how cars are $40,000, $50,000 easy, and you can get something like this 10 years old for more than half off and still drives like new, I don't think you can beat it if you're looking for an all-wheel drive four-door sedan. And I mean, you can't really find four-door sedans these days anyway, so to have that, this capability with the all-wheel drive system, the tech that was included here in 2017, again, you can't go wrong with a car like this, in my opinion. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2017 Subaru Legacy in the limited trim level.